Alright, this is the changelog for October 23rd. Starting off with some Halloween 2024 changes. We settled into spooky season last week with Marika and her pumpkin problem. Your scarecrow shirts and customized pumpkin heads have been the talk of all of Gillinor. But apparently there's been reports of some creepy crawly bugs that need squashing. Some players were reporting that Marika didn't believe them when saying that they'd heard the cat, even when you had. To help convince her, they've added a third chat option, which lets you promise that you did hear the cat, if you have in fact heard it, of course. They've also moved a pumpkin decoration and drainer, so it's once again possible to cut the oak next to the bank without having to walk all the way around. And a reminder that if you haven't already, you can visit the farm south of Falador to start the event and snag yourself some wicked cosmetics. On to Varlamore the Rising Darkness changes. It's been almost a month since Varlamore the Rising Darkness was released. You ventured forth to explore Valamorian ways of potion making, battle the fearsome Huey, snag yourself some rewards, take on the new combat achievements and more. As always, they've kept monitoring our feedback, which has led to the following fixes. Using the refiner at the Mastering Mixology minigame whilst wearing ferocious gloves will no longer make your gloves get stuck to the machine and cause your hands to stretch. And they've also clarified the criteria for the perfect Huey combat achievement. The elite task for a perfect Huey is to kill it perfectly 5 times without leaving. To get a perfect kill, you must not take any avoidable damage from the Huey's lightning attack, tail slam attack, or off-prayer projectile attacks. Next up, we have some Iron Man status changes. This week brings an important update for Iron Man. Previously, some Iron Man chose to lock their Iron Man status permanently, worrying that a hijacker might downgrade it behind their back. However, over the years, they've apparently seen an increasing number of Iron Man regret this. Additionally, they now have Jagex accounts, bringing updated security options to keep hijackers out of the account in the first place. Therefore, as of today's update, the old permanent option is no longer available. If you've previously locked your Iron Man status permanently and now wish to downgrade, you can do so, provided you have the security of a Jagex account to protect your status. Iron Men who are still concerned about a hijacker downgrading them may choose a downgrade cooldown delay of 90 days. Players whose Iron Man status is due to downgrade will receive warnings on login, giving them ample chance to visit the Iron Man tutor in Lumbridge and cancel the change if they don't want it to proceed. Then we have Arclight changes. After the addition of Wild Gothic Sleeps, Arclight gained a new feature which allowed players to infuse spent charges to count towards the 10,000 charge total required to upgrade it to Emberlight. However, when Arclight depleted to 0 charges, it automatically downgraded to Darklight, which meant that your infusion progress was lost. Following your feedback, running out of charges will now create an inactive version of the Arclight, which remains usable in combat with the same stats as Darklight and maintains your infusion progress. And while they were at it, they also made some additional improvements. Players can now use 1 or 2 shards at a time to charge Arclight, 333 charges for 1 shard, 666 for 2, and 1000 for 3. You will still require 3 shards to upgrade the Arclight. A warning message will appear in chat when Arclight has 100 charges remaining, and they've repositioned Arclight's inventory icon to avoid parts of it being chopped off. Next up, Run Energy Changes Beta 2.0. Their second Run Energy Changes beta launches tomorrow on Thursday, October 24th. This is your opportunity to test out changes that will impact all gameplay experiences no matter what you get up to in Gillinor. For all the details on what these changes are and how to take part in the beta, keep your eye out for a dedicated Run Energy Changes vlog tomorrow. Next up, Game Jam. As we've stepped into the final quarter of the year, it's time for another Game Jam. Game Jams are internal events that they run twice per year, providing them with a fantastic opportunity to come together as a team and pursue passion projects outside of the normal roadmap. Previous Game Jams have introduced projects that eventually became Scurious, Perilous Moons, and the Wilderness Updates, Project Rebalance, and more. With their 6th Game Jam in full swing, the team will be diving into their passion projects from October 21st to November 1st. This means that there will be no game update next week on October 30th. JMods will be using the hashtag OSRS Game Jam hashtag on Twitter to share what they've been cooking. So if you want to see what they're up to this time, make sure to check that out. Likewise, there will also be a dedicated Game Jam channel on their Discord server where some JMods will be sharing their ideas and soliciting your feedback. Discord activities are next. JMod Prop Hunt Discord event. Is it a tree or is it a JMod? There's only one way to find out. They know that we love hide and seek, so they're hosting a JMod Prop Hunt event on their official Discord server this weekend. On Sunday, JMods will disguise themselves as props across Gillinor, and it's up to us to go and find them. They'll be dropping clues in the free-to-play clues and members clues channels in their Discord events category on the day. Then it's up to us to head in the right location and see what your favourite JMod has transformed into. Make sure that you're in their event discussion channels in the Discord server if you plan to take part. This is your official save the date. This Sunday, October 27th, 7 PM BST, Members World 358 and Free-to-Play World 500, meeting point Varric Square. They work alongside Discord volunteer moderators to help provide us with activities and events that we can take part in. For the past couple of months, their moderators have been hard at work organising and running events both in and out of the game via the server. They've had JMod events, player-led activities, and games hosted dictated by their mod team themselves. The team are dedicated to bringing you the activities that you want to take part in, so they felt it was high time that they got our feedback on what they've put in so far and what we want to see in the future. So they would like it if you could take a couple of minutes to fill in a Google survey and let the mod team know what your thoughts are. I'll put the link for it in the description. And staying on the topic of Discord, they're excited to announce their next Discord stage call. On Tuesday, October 29th at 4 PM GMT, Mod Blossom will be joined by Mod Jerv and Mod Skylark to chat about art in Old School RuneScape while Mod Jerv live draws your suggestions. They've opened up a new channel to gather your drawing ideas early so that Mod Skylark can mock some of them up in 3D to show off during these stages. Head to the drawing suggestions channel to start suggesting what you would like to see created. Please bear in mind that this stages is just for fun and not to develop in-game ideas, which means that you can go wild with your ideas and get creative. They'll be opening up their Ask Your Questions channel on the day of the stages too, so prepare for any art related questions that you have to pop in there. There's also a small merch update for Halloween. Halloween is creeping up fast and they've pinned down the perfect item for your costume. Channel the classic creepy vibes with this limited edition black Halloween mask pin by the talented Angelscape. Check out the official merch store to get your hands on one. Then there's quite a few other changes today. They've added a visual indicator to the tormented demons, which shows when they enter their 100% accuracy phase. Examining the murals in the 4 pyramid plunder lobbies reveals how many of each gold chest you've looted. The Araxite Slayer helm now correctly matches your character's skin tone, and the following weapons and armor from Varlamore have been added to the supplies chests on PvP Arena Worlds: the Blue Moon armor set, the Blood Moon armor set and spear, the Eclipse Moon armor set, Eclipse Little and the Little darts, and the Dual Makwaheel. Lumberjack boots are now correctly proportioned to your character. You'll no longer find yourself in an unexpected location when using the passageways to exit the Rogue's Den maze area. They fixed a bug causing the Skull Scepter to forget its autocast setting when switching to another weapon and back again. They fixed a bug causing players to teleport a few tiles when standing on the tile directly south of Mishism in Draenor Village. Clicking Vorkath's collection log link no longer sends the players to the Whisperer's page. They fixed an issue with the Yaneel South agility shortcut. The Venator ring can no longer be equipped without a Leviathan kill. During the Colossal Hydra's special attack, the smaller Hydras are no longer able to attack you. While it didn't affect your ability to play the minigame, they've made sure that the Kraken's tentacle is facing the right way during Fish and Trawler. The loot tracker no longer counts drop bones twice. The Amulet of the Damned effect now works with the arms set while manually casting as well as auto casting, and they've updated the set effect wording to reflect this change. When you use 250 Firelighters to unlock a new colorway for your Phoenix pet, you will now have permanent access to that color. After unlocking once, you can then freely use the Metamorphosis option on the pet to change it. They know there are some very dedicated fans to the old Torva outfit, and while they currently aren't adding it to the game itself, this week they've added the files to the config. This means that RuneLite will now be able to utilize the file and give you an option to don the OG style for your own enjoyment. It's important to know that when activating it via the FashionScape plugin, the outfit will only be visible to you though. The armor pieces are unavailable in the main game and are therefore untradeable, can't be sold or bought at the GA, and will not leave placeholders in your bank. They fixed a farming issue where curing a diseased herb would cause it to transform into a different kind of herb altogether, and they fixed an issue where the judge in King's Ransom appeared to have a beard but no head. They've added a last contact option when using NPC contact, which will allow players to talk to Amy about Mahogany Homes contracts. They've enabled spectators scrying into the Theatre of Blood to be visible in 3 waves previously exempt from this, meaning fighters will be able to see their audience. Public chat will be available between the fighters and the spectators in the following fights: Nilo, Zarpaz and Verzik. And finally, the latest Deadman mode rug item has been tweaked to make the skulls much clearer. And for the PvP World Rota this week, it's moved to Period B. 560 is the UK PvP World, 319 is the US Bounty Hunter World, 579 is the US High Risk PvP World, 561 is the UK Free to Play PvP World, and 580 is US LMS Competitive. The Australian World 390 for LMS Competitive and the Australian World 569 for Bounty Hunter has been deactivated within this rota. The PvP arena is using Zerker loadouts in ranked duels and tournaments this week. That's all for this week, and as there's no game update next week, there won't be a changelog video either. I'll see you in 2 weeks' time.